So Choules is here for a few reasons. So one of the most primary reasons for us to be here is an opportunity for the crew to have a break ashore, respite, look around this beautiful nation, have a look at Samoa and really get to experience the area in which we all live in. Secondly, it's also an important stop for us to be able to fill the ship up with fuel, food and things like that, top up with what we call victuals, essentially food to keep going. And we're out in this region, as we're all neighbours and we're all, friends, and we all live and work in the South Pacific. And so one of the reasons that we're out here is we're the what we call online humanitarian aid and disaster relief response vessel. So as you walk around the ship today, you'll see a whole heap of equipment we've got on board. So we're out in the Southwest Pacific, ready to, should a natural disaster respond, well, we could form part of Australia's response to any humanitarian aid or disaster relief activity that could happen. So we have some watercraft, some equipment ready to be able to respond should we get asked to help. Okay, so we've got today, right now, there's a tree planting activity happening, so we're planting some trees. We've also conducting a number of tours around the ship for various school groups and universities and other interested groups. And we'll also hold a functional or official reception tonight where a number of local dignitaries will come on board, and we'll have a welcoming into Samoa and onto Choules this evening. What we're able to do in the event that there was a natural disaster and Australia was asked for help, we have we have some watercraft and equipment, tractors and things like that. We're able to essentially take equipment or stores ashore into where the disaster has happened. So we're able to deliver initial first aid, equipment for distilling water, making water, cleaning up any sort of roads or anything that might need cleaning up. So we're able to respond almost instantly. We have watercraft on board and a number of stores that will let us be able to administer first aid as a part of initial response should we get asked for help. So today there's just under 200 people on board Choules today. So all up though, Choules can carry 500 people. So when we're totally loaded up and every bed is full, there's 500 people on board Choules. So Choules' primary role is humanitarian aid and disaster relief. That's what we do, that's what we train for. As you can see when you're moving around Choules, it's like a flatbed truck. It just carries things. You'll see the two cranes, the helicopters that we've got on board, and a lot of areas to stow containers. So Choules is a great ship for carrying anything, but primarily we carry humanitarian aid type equipment, and that's things like bulldozers and tractors and trucks and four-wheel drives to be able to get the aid from the ship onto the beach and perhaps up into the villages or hills or wherever the actual aid is needed to be taken to. So that's what Choules primarily does. Yeah, absolutely. So there's an MRH and a Seahawk on board us today. So both of them, the MRH is a troop carrier, and it can carry up to sort of 12-15 people. And the Seahawk carries a little bit less than that, but both of them are able to carry loads. So we use the helicopters to move both people and equipment, particularly to hard to reach places. So if you can imagine we needed to get some water or food or something to an outlying village or town that's been cut off as a result of some sort of cyclone or other disaster, we were able to use the helicopters to quickly get that aid out, and also we're able to get first responders from the host nation out there to be able to get eyes on and understand what the actual size and scale of the problem and help coordinate follow-on disaster relief activities. The most recent one was Vanuatu, in Vanuatu assist following the volcano, where there was an international response to evacuating a whole heap of people off of the island, and Choules delivered some aid and some equipment in response to that. So that's the most recent one, in fact the only one for Choules in the Southwest Pacific. But it also did one recently called Townsville Assist back home following a cyclone in just south of Townsville. Again, it helped deliver some aid and equipment in helping the local towns respond to a cyclone in Australia. So Choules is the ship Choules is named after an ex-sailor from the Australian Navy. So it's quite an interesting long story, so bear with me. But essentially, Choules is about, it's just coming on to 16 years old, and it was originally, we bought it from the Royal Navy, and in a particular arm called the Royal Fleet Auxiliary. So it was about 5 or 6 years old, so 2011, Australia bought this ship. So it started life in the Royal Navy and is now in the Royal Australian Navy. Claude Choules was a sailor that started his career in the Royal Navy, and he fought World War I in the Royal Navy. At the end of World War I, he emigrated to Australia, and on the outbreak of World War II, he joined up and fought World War II with the Royal Australian Navy. So here we had a gentleman, a sailor, that started his career with the Royal Navy and finished his career with the Royal Australian Navy, and this ship started with the Royal Navy and has finished with the Royal Australian Navy. So that's where the name Choules comes from.